It all started when HOA Karen, true to form, attempted her most audacious stunt yet. She posted my ranch lake online for sale without my permission. Her goal was clear: intimidate, manipulate, and assert control over property she had no right to influence. Karen believed she could leverage her network, bureaucracy, and audacity to force compliance. What she did not realize was that her actions would trigger a response she could not possibly control. By the time she realized the consequences, her influence would be completely neutralized. From the moment I discovered the listing, I documented every aspect. Screenshots of the online posting, timestamps of the upload, and detailed records of the property's legal status were meticulously preserved. Security cameras, neighborhood surveillance, and prior HOA harassment incidents were compiled to create an irrefutable dossier of Karen's audacity. Every detail mattered, and nothing was left undocumented. Karen had no idea her reckless attempt at manipulation was about to backfire spectacularly. Rather than confront her directly or escalate publicly, I devised a precise, strategic response. Using my resources and knowledge of property law, I purchased her lot, the very one she had hoped to leverage as part of her scheme. By acquiring her property, I not only neutralized her ability to influence access, but I also gained complete control over her entry points, effectively cutting off her access to both my ranch and the surrounding areas. What she intended as intimidation and manipulation turned into her own imprisonment within a strategy she could not counter. When Karen arrived to check on the supposed listing or to attempt enforcement, she found herself blocked, powerless, and completely exposed. Her lot was now under my control, cutting off access, utilities, and legal leverage she had assumed she could use. Every attempt to assert authority was met with precise legal documentation and practical restrictions that left her completely powerless. The audacity that had once intimidated neighbors now highlighted her recklessness and ignorance. In response to her intrusion and attempted manipulation, I took additional strategic steps. Legal notices were sent, clearly documenting her past harassment and outlining consequences for any future attempts to interfere with the property. Access points were reinforced, security systems upgraded, and surveillance continuously monitored. Karen's ability to intimidate or manipulate had been permanently neutralized. Her audacious scheme to control or profit from my property had turned into a permanent loss and public humiliation. Neighbors and community members quickly learned of the event. Karen's credibility, already fragile, was shattered completely. The pattern of her entitlement, reckless interference, and repeated audacity was exposed for all to see. Her attempt to manipulate property ownership and intimidate residents had spectacularly backfired, leaving her isolated and powerless. Observers recognized the lesson. Audacity without preparation, legality, or strategic foresight is doomed to fail, and attempts to manipulate others always carry consequences when confronted by authority and planning. In the days that followed, the ranch lake remained secure, fully under my control, and unaffected by any HOA interference. Karen's ability to trespass, manipulate, or assert false authority was completely nullified. The incident became a clear cautionary tale within the community. Reckless entitlement and audacity always meet consequences when opposed by strategy, preparation, and lawful authority. By the end of the week, calm returned to the property. Karen's audacity had been decisively neutralized, her credibility destroyed, and her influence permanently diminished. The ranch, serene and fully under control, stood as a monument to preparation, strategy, and the power of lawful authority over reckless entitlement. Every observer understood the principle. Audacity, aggression, or attempts to manipulate without preparation or legal backing are self-defeating. Karen had been exposed, powerless, and publicly humiliated, leaving the property secure and her influence entirely eliminated.